Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another yoga practice here. My name is Mitzi. I am a GP and currently doing my yoga teacher training. This week we are going to do a Moon Salutation practice. As we're coming up to a full moon, I thought it would be a fun time to incorporate the Moon Salutations, but first we'll start with some breathing exercises. So we're going to begin with our Ujjayi breath, also known as ocean breath, and is used to calm and focus the mind in our yoga practice. It's usually done with a deep inhale and exhale through the nose with a constriction in the throat, causing a gentle wave-like sound. We're going to practice it initially with an open mouth exhale, as if you are fogging up a mirror or cleaning some glasses. You're going to inhale deeply through your nose and exhale. So you're going to continue this cycle for several deep breaths, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling a big sigh out through the mouth. Once you do this a few times, you can then start to close your mouth and continue the sensation that you have as if you had your mouth open, fogging up the mirror or the glasses. And this is your Ujjayi breath. Practicing this breath will help you to remain present during your yoga practice and connected with your breathing, as it's a mental prompt to remember to breathe deeply, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, feeling that constriction in your throat. Continue with your Ujjayi breath for a couple more breaths in and out through your nose, calming the mind and getting ready for today's practice. Starting to bring your awareness to the room again, blink open your eyes and slowly making your way up to the front of your mat now, and we're going to start warming up with the modified moon flow. Starting in mountain pose now, grounding through the three corners of each feet, gently softening the knees, engaging the thighs, hips stacked over knees, over ankles, shoulders up and back, and begin to inhale the arms up and then exhale, forward fold. Stepping your right foot back now, lowering the knee and uncurling the toes, inhaling the arms up into your low crescent pose. Gaze is lifted, chest is open. Exhale, hands come down, curling under the toe and stepping back to the front of the mat. Inhale, standing all the way back up again. And then exhaling the hands down by your side. And we'll just do that again. Inhaling the arms up overhead, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping the left foot back this time, lowering the knee, uncurling the toes, inhaling your arms up overhead. Exhale, sinking through the hips in your high crescent pose, chest up, gaze is lifted. And then exhale, lowering the hands back to the front of the mat, stepping again to the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, forward fold, and then inhale all the way up to rise. Okay, we're going to build on that slightly the next time. Inhaling your arms up overhead, gentle back bend, exhale, forward fold. Stepping your right foot back, you can lower the knee if you're able to, keep it lifted, and we're going to come up into our high crescent. Again, sinking through the hips, making sure that knee doesn't come over those front toes. Gaze is lifted, and then exhale, hands down to the mat. Left foot, we're going to come up into half split. So reaching the arm slightly forward, using your hands to support you and balance. Bringing that right leg up into as high as you can to a split position. And then lowering that right foot back down, grounding again through the hands, but this time moving your left foot to the outside edge of your mat, and we're going to come into lizard. Here in lizard, you are going to soften through the hips, relaxing the hips inward. You can keep the knee down, or if you'd like a bit of a deeper stretch, curl under the toe and come up and straighten your right leg behind you. If you want even more, You can, after a few breaths here, come down onto your forearms and feel that stretch even deeper within the hip flexors. But there's no pressure to come this far, and wherever you are, see if you can stay with that Ujjayi breath. Coming up now through your high crescent, reaching up and then sinking through the hips again. Exhaling the hands down and stepping to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming up, all the way up, hands overhead, and then exhaling your hands back down by your side. Well done. Let's go again on the other side. Inhaling the arms up overhead and exhaling forward fold. Stepping the left foot back this time, either lowering the knee or keeping it lifted and coming up into your high crescent. Inhaling, gaze lifted, chest up and open. Taking a few breaths here. Really feeling this position from the ground up, grounding through the three corners of the feet on that right foot and pushing your heel back. Exhale, lower the hands down. Again, you can bring the arms slightly forward and putting all the weight into your right foot, and you're going to come up into your half split here. So supporting yourself with your hands as well on the floor, or you can hold your leg if you'd like, and try and reach your left foot as high up to the sky as you are able to in this standing split position. Lowering your left leg down, lowering the knee, and bringing that right foot to the edge of your mat. And we're going to come into lizard here. So inhaling and exhaling deeply, really sinking into the hips here. And reminding yourself to return to that Ujjayi breath. Again, especially if you did it on the other side, if you would like to straighten the back leg, you can come up onto your back toes and feel a slightly deeper stretch here. And again, if you did it last time, you might like to do it on this side too. Just come down to your forearms, feeling the deeper stretch in the lizard pose here. Remembering to connect back to that Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Coming back up now, coming through to your high crescent or low crescent if you're on your knees. Chest up and lifted, and then exhaling the hands down to the front of the mat, stepping both feet in between the hands before inhaling up slowly, bringing the arms up overhead and exhaling the hands down by your side. Have a little shake out here for a moment. Okay. Getting ready, we're going to progress our moon flow a bit more. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands down and stepping your right foot back. Inhaling your arms up into high lunge, crescent pose. Exhale, sinking through the hips a bit more. Exhale, lowering the hands down, bringing them slightly forward. We're going to come back up into our half split pose. So really grounding through your left foot, softening the knee as much as you need, trying to bring that left foot to the sky. We're going to transition into half moon pose. So aiming to keep the foot level with the hip or lower. Try and open up the hips so you're stacking them, opening up the chest, arm lifted to the sky. This is quite a challenging pose, and you may wish to use a brick here as well. Coming back through your crescent pose, we're going to transition through to warrior two. Grounding through the feet, engaging your glutes, engaging your core, shoulders away from your ears, looking at that front middle finger. Leaning slightly forward and flipping your left palm up. Come back into your peaceful warrior or your reverse warrior, feeling that stretch through the left side of the body. We're going to transition through star pose and come into our goddess pose, which is a strong standing position. Your feet are going to be turned out 45 degrees, and you're going to bend your knees, lowering your hips to the level of your knees. Arms are out to the sides, elbows bent 90 degrees. Stretching back up through star, coming back to your warrior two pose. Always remembering to keep with the breath. transitioning back through high crescent, you're going to lower your hands down to the front of the mat and step forward. Inhale, arms up overhead, gentle back bend, and then hands down by your side. Now on the other side, inhaling the arms up overhead and exhale, forward fold. Stepping the left foot back, inhaling the arms up into your crescent pose or high lunge. Exhaling, sinking through the hips, gaze lifted, heart open. Exhaling, lowering the hands down, coming into your half split, bringing those hands slightly further in front of you or closer to your feet if you're able to balance. Really grounding through that supporting foot, softening the knee as much as you need. Reaching that right arm about a foot in front of your right foot, your left foot in line with your hips, opening up your hips, stacking them on top of the other, chest open, and if you're able to balance, then bring that left arm up to the sky. Returning both hands down to the mat, lowering your left leg, coming up into your high crescent pose. And we're going to transition through to our warrior two pose, making sure your heels are in line, your knees not going over your toes, and you can still see your toes. Thinking about the strength coming from the ground up, leaning slightly forward, flipping your right palm, and coming back into your peaceful warrior or reverse warrior here for a few breaths. Transitioning back through warrior two into your star pose, and then sinking the hips, feet turned out 45 degrees into your goddess pose. Hips in line with your knees, chest is open, arms bent 90 degrees. Stretching up through star, coming back through your warrior two pose. Lowering the hands to the mat. Reaching up into your high crescent pose again. Before exhaling, the hands back down to the front of the mat, stepping both feet between the hands and inhaling all the way up to rise. Gentle back bend, hands back down by your sides, and just take a few moments here to shake out. Making your way now to the middle of the mat, we're going to do tree pose as a balance sequence here. So you can start with your foot, with your toes on the floor, feet on your calf, or if you're able to, have your foot on your thigh. Reaching your arms up overhead, bringing your hands into prayer and lowering them to your heart center. Let's sync this with our breathing. Inhaling the arms up overhead, reaching your hands into prayer and exhaling your hands to your heart center. And again, inhaling the arms up overhead and exhaling through the nose, finding that Ujjayi breath, hands to the heart center. Releasing your foot, keeping it off the mat if you're able to, grabbing onto your big toe, your calf, your thigh. With your left hand, we're going to do a gentle abdominal twist here with the balance. Gaze towards your right hand if able. Release the knee and hug it into your chest before lowering down, and let's move on to the other side. So again, wherever you had it last time, maybe your toes were still on the floor or your foot was on your calf or your thigh, just make sure you're avoiding your knee. Inhaling your arms up overhead, exhaling hands to the heart center. See if you can get back to your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling through the nose deeply, and then exhale, feeling that constriction in your throat as you bring your hands to your heart chest. Inhaling, arms up overhead, exhaling to your heart center. One more time, inhaling the arms up and then exhaling to the heart center. Releasing the foot, keeping it off the mat if you're able to. Grabbing your right hand onto the big toe of your left foot, left hand to hip, and then reaching it past you, having a deep abdominal twist here if you're able to, bending the knee as much as you need or keeping that hand on your hip to modify, and then lowering back down. Making your way down to the mat now, sitting with your feet out in front, legs stretched ahead. Coming into Tadasana pose, so engaging the thighs and the legs, feet are flexed, inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bringing your hands as far forward as you can, keeping the spine lengthened, avoiding rounding. Holding on to your calves, your thighs, your feet, wherever you are, see if you can inhale, and on every exhale, see if you can get a little bit lower, remembering not to curl the spine. You can bend your knees as much as you need as well, if that helps to bring your belly towards your thighs. Inhale, exhale, and release. Okay, we're now going to make our way to lying down on the mat. So lengthening the spine, arms up, we can do a bit of core work here. Hands out in front, engaging the core, and you're going to see if you can lower yourself vertebrae by vertebrae to the mat, nice and controlled. From here, you're going to hug your right thigh into your chest and maybe give it a gentle rock side to side, loosening up those hips. And then just let that knee flop across your body. Don't be too worried about trying to get your knee to the floor. Stretching your right arm out to your side, turning your gaze opposite to your leg towards your right hand. And just feeling this nice spinal twist here, connecting with your breath again. Bringing your right knee back, hugging it into your chest, and then lower it down and swap over, bringing your left knee into your chest, again giving it a gentle rock before gently placing it across your body, left arm stretched out to the side, turning your head, looking towards your left hand away from your right knee. Connecting with your breath, inhaling and exhaling nice and slowly and deeply. Now, bringing your left knee, hugging it back into your chest. Then bring your right knee, hug both of them in, maybe bringing your chin to your chest. Lowering your head, circling the knees one way, and then making sure you circle them both together the other way. Maybe separating them and circling in opposite directions, making sure that you reverse those circles, massaging the hips and the lower spine nicely. From here, we're going to come into butterfly pose, so feet on the floor and just let your knees flop out open. If this is uncomfortable, you could always go straight into your Shavasana, final corpse pose. Just connecting with your breath here again. Let's go back to that Ujjayi breath, seeing if you can make those audible wave-like sounds as you breathe in. Breathing in nice and slowly, and exhale, hearing the sounds of the waves. Okay, starting to lengthen your legs and come into Shavasana, if you haven't already, for the last few breaths here. Feel free to stay here a bit longer, but if not, start to bring some movement to your fingers and your feet, reaching your arms up overhead, taking a lovely big stretch before hugging the knees into your chest, maybe chin to chest as well. Rocking from side to side, slowly rolling onto one side and bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position here. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed if you would like. Sitting comfortably, we'll just do a couple more of those Ujjayi breaths, inhaling the arms up overhead and exhaling the hands to your heart center. Again, inhale your arms up overhead and exhaling through the nose, bringing your hands through to your heart center. Final one, inhaling the arms up and exhaling hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next one. See you later for now. Bye-bye.